So, there's a few things I don't understand when it comes to people being transgender. One, I don't understand why that term even exists. Why is it anyone's business that that person has transitioned? Because what the fuck does that, why is that anybody's business? What I was born as and what I feel like I am now, what feels right to me now. What does it have to do with my performance at work or at school? I can see how that could matter in a relationship because that affects, that changes the dynamics when it comes to a family. But that's personal. That's someone they're getting close to. But any other motherfucker in your life who you choose not to let in your little bubble, in your story. Why do you need to know all the details of my motherfucking story is basically what I'm getting at. If this shit ain't got nothing to do with me being a cashier, because last I checked, as long as you got somewhat of a working brain, you don't need a whole lot to be able, like, what your sex organs are have nothing, that has nothing to do with shit. So I don't understand why that's a thing in the first place. To me, what makes sense is once a person thoroughly decides, because I'm not talking about the people who did it and regretted it. Like, I feel sorry for them. I thought there was a long process that you had to go through before you realized that, because to me, I would think that's something in your spirit. Because I don't know, for people who don't like trans people, like, you're so failing right now at life. You may be doing well to the world, but you're failing at life in real life, in the spirit, which is the life that matters. Because those people are a test. Everybody who is fucking different to you is a fucking test. Now, is there some kind of agenda going on in Hollywood? Yes, because that's what the devil does. He takes something that God meant for good and turns it into evil. Trans people were initially sent here, became a thing, I guess you can say, for good, to test people, to see and know that God expresses himself in many ways. Because we're not supposed to be looking at the physical, we're supposed to be looking at the spirit. The physicality of this person has nothing to do with their fucking heart. But the enemy is turning that shit into something else, and now I truly believe there are people just turning trans for, people up top. It's just something weird going on. But I'm talking about people who truly are what I grew up with, because what has happened to LGBT is on some other shit now. It's really weird, because it was not like this when I came out long ass time ago. So yeah, first of all, I don't understand that. It's nobody's fucking business, because once that individual decides to switch to the other gender, they are then that gender. Like, that's it. I don't get it. Maybe the hospitals, like, there's just certain people, I guess, who would need to know, because there's certain medicines, there's certain things, whatever, based on, the chromosomes, whatever. That shit is different. But then, also, how do y'all know that these people, because to me, I don't know, that shit makes sense. When someone says that they felt like they were born into the wrong body, and then considering that these are not our bodies, even though it's wrong to them, but it's not wrong. Because, once they got their relationship with him and understood what's happening and understood, he would just be able to get them to understand why they feel the way they feel and what's going on. Now, I don't know, obviously, but it would completely make sense to me, because this is a fucking test. We're all his servants. We all had to be different in some kind of way. For them, it was a different body to be tested. Some of us had to have mental health issues. Some of us had to be physically deformed. Some of us had to not have a lot of drive in the world. Some of us had to be angry, mad. We all have some type of something wrong with us, quote unquote, according to the world, that makes us different. Some are just more socially acceptable than others, but they're all something that's wrong that the world has had to learn to accept. He's gonna keep throwing shit in to test you. Okay.